Hey, what's up everybody? It's about 12:46 Sunday morning. And this has some spoilers. As you can see, it says Sonic 232 cover spoilers, and I don't have the cover on me, but from what I saw, I think you guys are going to find it very believable. And if you don't believe me, go to bigwaynescomics.com and you'll see exactly what I mean. You see, 232, like 231, had a question mark in front of a figure. Now, a lot of us pretty much guessed what that figure could be. We pretty much kind of knew who that figure could be. Well, all our suspicions were right. That figure is Titan Metal Sonic. Or should we appropriately call it Titan Metal Sally? That's right. Sally has been roboticized or has fused with Metal Sonic to become Titan Metal. Now, again, you don't believe me, check out bigwaynescomics.com. Now, a lot of people I've already told people about this at various Sonic sites, are not happy about this happening, and I can understand. But the way I look at it, folks, it's not the first time this has happened to Sally. I mean, she was roboticized for one issue in issue 29, back when Ken Penders was working on it. But it's not the first time Ken Penders or Ian Flynn or anybody's done this to characters. Remember, Ken Penders had Sonic roboticized and turned into a Metal Sonic, Hyper Metal Sonic if you will, for Mecha Madness. And let's not forget, Ian Flynn himself turned Knuckles into Urajak. So, let me ask you this. And he did that not once but twice. So let me ask you this. Is it surprising that this has happened? Maybe. Are fans upset? Yeah, there's no doubt there are some longtime fans that are upset. But let me ask you this. How long will it last? There's one person called LaserX5 that feels it might be permanent. And you know what? They may be right. But I don't think so. I mean, Ian Flynn, despite how you feel about him, despite how I feel about him, and some of the stuff that he's pulled since he's been on the comic, whether it's been good, whether it's been bad, whether it's been in between, I have noticed that any time Ian Flynn takes a popular character, good character if you will, a good guy or good girl character, and turns them bad, that a majority of the time it's only temporary. Now Fiona, of course, she's an exception, because Fiona was sort of like in between before she became a freedom fighter and then went evil. You kind of get the idea. Fiona's kind of an exception. But the truth is, folks, when Ian Flynn turned Knuckles into Urajak, first of all, none of us knew that was Knuckles under the helmet until we saw the backstory behind it. No one knew who it was, but we pretty much had a good idea. Just like we had a pretty much good idea of what was going to happen to Sally. But the question is, how long did that last? How long was Knuckles Urajak? I'll tell you how long. 4 issues. 180, 181, 182, 183, 184. Okay, maybe 4 or 5 issues. Big deal. Right? He was back to normal. Yeah, it affected him for a little bit, for a few issues, until he got back to his normal self. Now, how long do you think this is going to last with Sally? Now, according to Ian, it's supposed to last for up till a year. So basically, what occurs next month in 230 is supposed to last until September of next year, maybe sooner. You see, here's the thing. Sally's roboticization or fusion with Metal Sonic is not going to last long. We all know that. Ian Flynn right now is under fire at his own website from a lot of Sally fans. Longtime fans of the comic and longtime Sally fans that hate him for what he's done. And I'm pretty sure after they see the cover at Big Wayne's Comics or wherever they can find it, with that picture of her in the bottom left hand or bottom right hand corner under Robotnik or under Eggman, then it makes you think, okay, what now? Well, let's face the honest fact. Sally is going to be back in the comic. Sally's still in the comic, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, she's temporary. To me, this is the way I look at it. It's only temporary. And it's not going to last forever. It's not going to last to the end of the comic. It's not going to last to 250. It's temporary. I mean, think about it this way. If Ian wanted to keep Knuckles as Urajak, he could have kept him as Urajak for a lot longer than 4 to 5 issues. Right? The same with Nicole. Nicole, for an issue and a half. So basically from the beginning of, I think it was what, 208 or 209 to the, about 209 to the ending of 210 or 210 or halfway point of 210. So basically about 2 issues he had Nicole on the Iron Dominion side. Now, here's the thing. He had her on the Iron Dominion side. If he wanted to, he could have had her stay evil without having it reversed by Sally for the rest of the saga. But he didn't. He could have had her remain that way for the rest of the comic, but he didn't. It's a don't you get it, folks? It's temporary. Yeah, a lot of people don't like it, don't like the idea that this has happened. But you know what? We can't do nothing about it right now. We just got to deal with it. You know? And, you know, you question as to why he's bringing Harvey Who in, right? Bringing this character back. Well, I've got a feeling Harvey Who, in storyline mode, might have, I think Ian has Harvey Who being brought in, or bringing the Harvey Who character in, because Harvey Who might have the last solution. The solution that I don't think they would ever have to use. Now, again, how long will this last? It'll probably last for a few issues. Now, I'm not talking a few issues by 2 or 3 or something like that. I'm probably thinking about 4 or 5. That's the average amount when you turn a character evil, especially under Ian's writing. Again, Fiona's being an exception, but again, she wasn't as popular as Sally is. And believe me, Ian probably realizes that he can't keep her that way forever. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of fan art where people portray Sally as roboticized, and yet Sonic says, "Hey, you're still beautiful to me," and all that. I know there's fan art out there, places like DeviantArt or DeviantArt and wherever. But the truth is, I look at it like this. It's intriguing because I have a feeling that when she gets back to normal, or either she gains her free will or whatever, that she's going to have to confront everybody, storyline-wise, in the near future, and say, look, none of us are ever safe. None of us are safe from whatever happens. I mean, take a look at me. I got turned into this monster temporarily. So, I don't think it's going to... So, honestly, I don't think the robotization or fusion or whatever it is going to last forever. I don't think it's going to last to the end of the comic. I don't think it's going to last to the day that Ian finally walks out on the comic or leaves the comic. I don't think so. I think it's going to be only for a few issues. Maybe 4 to 5, maybe 6 at the most. Because he did say it was going to last up to a year, but I think it's going to be 4 to 5, maybe 6 at the most, that she's going to be like this. Maybe less. Because you can't just hit us with a surprise like this and, you know, have it last forever. We all know a climax is coming. And think of it this way, folks. Think of it this way. Take a look at the covers for Sonic Universe 35 and 36. The Babylonian rogues and the Battlebird Armada are attacking the kingdom. How can they attack the kingdom while this is all happening? They can't. Okay? And I think, I don't know if it says this that takes place before or after the events. Well, actually they say that 232 takes place before. So 232 takes place before. So basically they're saying that what you could be seeing in so basically it sounds like to me they're saying, hey, what you could be seeing in 35 may give you some answers already. You know, let's not forget, Ian's been known to really mess up when it comes to something like that, right? And I'm pretty sure Ian's kicking himself in the ass right now, kicking himself in the head maybe, and be thinking, oh man, they found out the truth. Well, you know what? I said it before, I'll say it again. Ian was eventually going to slip up, and that's exactly what happened. He slipped up. Now again, I'm not trying to say that I'm right. I'm not trying to say that, you know, Ian's not going to permanently keep Sally as a robot or fusion or something like that. I don't think that's going to be, I'm not saying that's not going to happen, because it might just happen. You know, knowing, it just might. I'm not saying it would. I'm not saying it would be a permanent, it's going to be forever kind of deal. I think it's just going to be temporary, and I think it's only be maybe 4 issues, 4 to 5, maybe the most 6 issues. Because it's supposed to last for about a year, right? And this is supposed to be part of Sally's story. And this is what, and you know what, this really should have tipped us off that this was going to happen to her, because when Paul Kaminski said that Sally had a Jean Grey-like syndrome, Jean Grey / Phoenix-like syndrome, that should have told us right then and there what was going to happen. Because let's take a look at Jean Grey's story. Jean Grey was just a normal member of the X-Men and all that. Suddenly they go into space, or whatever variation of the story you want to read from or watch from. They go into space, she gets possessed by the Phoenix, or that extra Phoenix-like power is kept within her and not unleashed, whatever, like I said, whatever variation you want to talk about. But yet the Phoenix power, finally comes out, and like I said, whatever variation you want to read or watch or, listen to, she ends up sacrificing herself as the good Phoenix. But then, in turn, when she comes back, she's the Dark Phoenix. So that's basically what it looks like here. Sally is sacrificing herself almost like in a Phoenix-like situation, but is being roboticized or fused with metal into what would be like a Dark Phoenix-like role. So, but again, we all know that now again, depending on the variation or version you want to look at from that scenario, whether she stayed alive or she died, we all know she wasn't an evil Phoenix forever. Like I said, depending on the variations. Okay? Like I said, she wasn't the Phoenix forever. But again, I can't say whether yay or nay if he's going to, keep Sally's robotization permanent, or for using fusion with metal permanent. All I can say is it's going to be an interesting ride for the next few issues. And that's what I feel. I just feel it's going to be maybe for about 4 to 5, maybe 6 issues. If it's longer, then it's longer. But, it's going to be an interesting ride, and we'll just have to see where it goes from here. A lot of us are going to shit on it. A lot of us are going to piss on it. A lot of us are going to hate it. But here's the thing. If you've been a fan of comics for a long time, you may have seen something like this before in the past, and you may have an idea of exactly what the outcome could be. Now, I'm not saying that I'm right, and I'm not saying that I'm wrong. But I just feel, being a long-time fan of not just this comic, but of many comics, that this is not going to last long. I mean, let me put it to you like this. When Transformers the movie came out in '86, the writers killed off Optimus Prime. Now they brought him back not just due to fan popularity, but also due to the fact that they knew fans would probably be pissed off by it. So they brought him back. First as a dead zombie, then they brought him back on a regular basis. You see what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that Ian's probably going in a situation to where it's like, okay, I have a roboticized now or fused with metal, but I can't keep it forever. I can't keep it like this forever. I gotta have her de-roboticized, or I gotta have her defused, or whatever it's gonna happen to make her go back on the side of good, so that, you know, fans will be happy. He knows fans are pissed off. He knows it. So again, I don't think it's gonna last forever. I'm gonna stay positive about it. I am going to resubscribe when February comes around, because I feel around that time, you know, when you look at the previews and all that, I think things are going to be okay. I just feel going into next year things are going to be alright. And besides, think of it this way. Do you think, in all honesty, Ian's going to want to end the new year, end the old year, or end 2011 on a sour note? Maybe, maybe not. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. So, but me, I'm keeping a positive attitude on it. I don't think it's going to last long. I think it's going to be just temporarily for a few issues, maybe 6 at the most, and we'll just see what happens. Maybe a little longer, but I know it's not going to be, you know, a permanent roboticization or fusion. I feel it's only going to be temporary, and we'll just see what happens and how it gets reversed. So, comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I know a lot of you may be upset and pissed off by it, but hey, we'll just have to see what happens.